Now moving on to the top of our pyramid that I discussed before, step 7, exploring paid online marketing opportunities. And you have several avenues here. You have, of course, pay-per-click marketing, often called PPC, and you can advertise on Google. It's called AdWords, and you can also advertise on Bing or Yahoo. You can opt for paid online directory listings. So on Angies List, YP, that's yellowpages.com, yelp.com, and so on. And there are also some paid lead services out there. So one popular one is financial engines. You can also have senior leads, and these companies they help you find leads. Now, the only issue with these lead services, and right now I'm talking about the third bullet point here, you really don't have too much control over the quality of the lead. So if that is a direction you want to go in, definitely try to understand, communicate with that company about the quality of lead, the type of lead that you're looking for, to make sure that you're getting the best ROI. Now, for the rest of this section, I'm going to focus on why most PPC campaigns fail, and it's usually for several reasons. Now, I'll get into the first issue that I see with a lot of PPC campaigns with clients before they come to us. They have one ad group for all of their services. So, a good analogy for this, if you're not familiar with ad groups and PPC, let's say you had a billboard on the side of the freeway, and in that billboard, you are advertising retirement planning services. Now that's great, but let's say from that billboard, you're also expecting it to bring in people interested in business exit planning, people interested in estate planning, and so forth. Services that aren't even related to retirement planning. Now, it's not very probable that this billboard will be effective with bringing in those other target audiences. And you can think of an ad group that is targeting different services the same way. It's probably not going to be very effective. So, I definitely encourage you to always have a unique ad group with unique ads and unique keywords for each one of your services. Now, the second thing I often see, and this is a great segue from the first point, firms usually don't use specific text ads or landing pages for their group of keywords. So, in your text ad, it should be written and engaging exactly that specific client that you're looking for. So, if you're looking for your ad campaign, you're looking for clients interested in business exit planning help, um, that should be explicit in your text ad. And furthermore, once that potential client clicks on that ad, they should be taken to a landing page uh, that only talks about business exit planning, nothing else. And that's very important. And Google, they actually give a relevancy score uh, that gauges how relevant your ad is to the landing page that you're taking people to. And lastly, and this unfortunately people still are making this mistake. There's no strong call to action or offer on the landing page. So obviously, the reason why you're paying to get traffic to your website is you want people to take action. That you want them to call you, submit a form or something. And many times I see financial advisors, they don't have any type of call to action on their landing page, and they don't have any incentive for people to contact them. So, for example, if you had a landing page for retirement planning, and at the end you have a great copy on the page, great text, great content, it's really engaging. You added a few testimonials to really convince potential clients that you are the number one choice for their needs, but you don't tell them what to do afterwards. So typically, you want to have a call to action button that says something like "Call us now," "Sign up today for a complimentary meeting," something along those lines. And these are some more tips for AdWords and really any paid advertising campaign. You might think that the highest budget and the highest bid on keywords wins, and it's always going to be at the top. That's not always true. One thing that Google definitely looks at is quality score. Um, and so, quality score, that's how relevant your ad is, how relevant it is to the landing page, how relevant it is to the search query. And so Google is only going to serve the most relevant results. All the algorithm changes you hear, panda, penguin, pretty much every animal in the zoo, it's all going in a direction to make or make Google provide the most relevant search results for users and to make the search experience as user friendly as possible. And so, while bidding is important, you need to have a sufficient budget to realistically compete. You can't compete if your budget is $50, you can't compete with another firm and their budget is $10,000 a month. It's just not realistic. But all things being equal, your quality score, how relevant your ads are, drives the position of your ads and the cost per click, or how much you're going to be charged for each click on that ad. So now you might be wondering, how does Google determine quality score for your ad? Now we already talked about relevance, so how relevant it is for that search term. But there are two other components that make up the quality score calculation. First is your click-through rate. So out of all the ads, all of the searches where your ads are showing up for, what percentage of people are clicking on your ad? And Google uses this as a signal that if that click through rate is high, then it's very likely that your ad is relevant to that search query. Now, the third component here is quality of your landing page. And there are a lot of different factors to look at here. But of course, it needs to be relevant to that search term. It needs to be clean, so very well designed, very easy to read. And it needs to have some call to action. Now, in Google's eyes, what's most important is your bounce rate, or in other words, how long people are staying on that particular page. It's great if you're getting a lot of clicks to your landing page where people are staying 5 seconds then leaving, then that shows Google that it's not very user friendly. It's not providing people what they're looking for. But let's say you do a great job with the content, people want to read it, and you also have some testimonial videos, you have a video of yourself maybe, people are going to sit there and watch those. And that adds to what we call in the industry stickiness. So how sticky is your page, and um, how likely are people to spend time on it? So that's very important as you build out your landing page for your PPC campaign. And see, this is just an example here. So you can see this is Mary and Tom. And so Mary is bidding $2 per click. Tom is bidding 4. But you can see here that Mary's quality score is 10 while Tom's is 4. So you can see how this plays out. The ad rank. So the ad rank score for Mary is 20, while the ad rank score for Tom is 16. And so due to this ad rank score, Mary is actually number one over Tom, even though Tom is bidding twice the amount per click. And then how this comes down to your CPC, you can see that calculation here. Um, And that's really how quality score can help you save money and outbid your competitors who might have larger advertising budgets. And again, the key takeaway here is not only is your campaign budget important, but your quality is just as important. And now I'll get more into detail about ad groups. So I mentioned before that you want to have especially targeted ad groups for each of your services. So these are just some of the services that your firm might offer. Um, so let's say you're doing investment advisory services. You want to make sure your ad group, so that includes your keywords that you're targeting for that ad group, the ad text that you're using in your ads, and your landing page, all closely aligned with the key subject of investment advisory services. So, if you're not familiar, ad group consists of the several things I just mentioned. The ad copy, so what you actually see in Google when you search, the group of keywords. So these are the keywords that your ad is going to show up for if someone is searching for them, and the specific landing page. So once someone reads your ad and clicks, where that ad is taking them to, that's the landing page component. In a simple ad group template here, very simple. So your keywords is the list of keywords pertaining to that ad group. So investment advisory keywords, if we had it that for our ad group. Your text ads, they should include some of those keywords. So usually you want to include like the most target, the most primary keyword within your list of keywords. Some other things you might want to include your address or your phone number. So if someone doesn't have time to click through to your landing page, they can just give you a call. You also want to include some type of offer or incentive. So if your firm offers complimentary meetings, definitely include that into your ad text. Your landing page should match what the ad says. So if you use a particular phrase in your text ad, it's good practice to use that on your landing page. Also, you want to incorporate your keywords into the text on your landing page. So this is just an example. And let's say we are targeting an ad group that is built around tax planning. So your landing page content should probably say something like this: Are you in need of tax planning services in the Atlanta area? Contact the experts at XYC Financial Advisory Services for immediate and comprehensive service at, and that's the phone number. Other good practices for your landing page: you want to state your value proposition, experience, maybe provide some links to reviews, or probably better, provide those testimonials and video testimonials right there on the page. And then you want to end with your offer, your call to action. So sign up today or call us today for a free 30-minute consultation. And so this is what this will look like if we were targeting tax planning or folks who are searching for tax planning services in the Atlanta area. So you can see here, these are just some of the keywords that we will use. So tax planning services Atlanta, financial and tax planning services, strategic financial and tax planning services. And remember that Google knows where these searchers are. So even though Atlanta is not in the actual keyword, if someone in Atlanta is searching for this, it'll automatically show Atlanta based results. And this is your text ad. So strategic tax planning, that's the headline, and then free 30-minute consultations, then a call to action. And your landing page, now the URL is pretty important. You want to make sure that you include the ad group, so the target keyword in your URL some type of way. Um, this shows people that they are in the right place, and it does improve your quality score. And then again, this is the content that we went over before, but make sure that your content and your keywords and your ad text and your landing page, they all align, and that will help you get a good quality score for your ads. And so those are the basics, but just some other expert tips. Focus on keywords with buying intent. So going back to the tax planning example, there's a big difference between tax planning and tax planning services. Now, someone who's looking for tax planning, they might be, doing a research project, or they might be looking to do this themselves and just need some advice, need to read some articles on it. Whereas tax planning services, that's someone who's looking for a servicer to help them with their tax planning. Now, with PPC, you only want to focus on those keywords with buying intent. And so, in that example, tax planning services has higher buyer intent than tax planning. You want to use dedicated landing pages. So, I typically recommend for clients to not use pages on their website for PPC landing pages. You want specially built pages where there's no top navigation. The only thing that's on that page is whatever service that you're advertising. And the reason why you don't want to include a top navigation menu, these would be ways that people would exit out of that page. And you have to think about this as a funnel. The less holes that you have in that funnel, the more likely people are to call you and take action. So just think about that. You want to have dedicated landing pages with no distractions, no links to other pages. You want to use call tracking numbers. So let's say you're using your company number and you're using that on your landing page. For metrics and tracking purposes, you might have received 100 calls from your landing page, from your PPC campaign. But if you don't have it set up to where you're tracking it, you have no idea how effective that campaign is for driving new business to your company. So we use something called call tracking numbers, where basically it will be a number that's different than your company number, but it will forward to your company's number. So if your number is 888-8562-8378, and we had a call tracking number that is different, when someone calls that tracking number, it will automatically forward to your number. Now, on the analysis end, this helps us see, okay, people who called that tracking number, this is how many people came from your PPC campaign. And you can justify and measure just how effective your PPC campaign is. Next, ad extensions. And Google does a great job giving you options. You can add your phone number to your ads, you can add your offer to your ads, and so forth. And this is just a way for your ad to take up more real estate and really to stand out among your competitors. So always use ad extensions where possible. And a big part of marketing is testing what works. So try out different ad formats. You might want to try out display ads. So not only just doing text ads and Google search results, but creating some creating some images and having those have those targeted to people across the web. You might also want to try out retargeting. So you might have seen this where you visited a website and then it seems like everywhere you go after that, you're seeing ads for that company across the web. Well, that's what retargeting is. It's basically retargeting people who visited your website who might be shopping around. You want your company to stay top of mind, and so that's why you would use retargeting ads. And then try out different platforms. Google and Bing and Yahoo, they aren't the only paid advertising platforms. You also have social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, and you can also probably work out deals with different websites that are in your niche, whether that be retirement planning, financial advisory services, business estate planning, and so forth. So just really explore your different options.
Hi there, I hope you got great value out of that video. We've actually put together an implementation guide to go along with it. If you're interested in a step-by-step on how to set up your website, how to optimize it for SEO, or how to build authority and good backlinks to it, and other stuff like that, then I highly recommend that you download our free implementation guide. To download it, you can go to financierseo.net/free. The URL is actually at the bottom of this video, but again, that URL is financierseo.net/free. Thank you for watching and have a great day.